Shocking, CTV panel slams Carney as Liberal fourth term faces total collapse. The political landscape in Canada is currently rife with controversy, particularly surrounding the actions of Prime Minister Mark Carney and the Liberal Party as they face mounting criticism and challenges. Carney, who recently ascended to leadership, is under fire for a taxpayer-funded trip to Rome that many view as a misuse of public funds. Critics argue that this trip, which included a 19-person entourage of Liberal MPs, senators, and Catholic leaders, was more about personal and political gain than addressing pressing national issues. Carney's trip to Rome was ostensibly aimed at fostering international relations, including meetings with the new Pope, Leo XIV, and the Prime Minister of Italy. However, the timing and nature of the trip have raised eyebrows, especially given the current economic instability in Canada. With the country grappling with a weakened postal service and a struggling electric vehicle industry, many Canadians feel that their Prime Minister should prioritize domestic issues over international engagements. The perception that Carney is leveraging his Catholic faith for political advantage has only intensified the backlash against him. The economic situation in Canada is precarious, with reports indicating that Canada Post could face bankruptcy by 2025 without government intervention. The Postal Service, a critical component of Canadian infrastructure, is experiencing severe financial difficulties, leading to concerns about its ability to serve the public effectively. Meanwhile, the electric vehicle sector is in turmoil, with several companies filing for bankruptcy due to a combination of market pressures and lack of support. Critics argue that Carney's focus on international diplomacy, exemplified by his Rome trip, distracts from these urgent economic challenges, leaving many citizens feeling neglected. The delayed federal budget has further fueled concerns about Carney's leadership and the government's ability to navigate the current crisis effectively. A timely budget is essential for any government to outline its fiscal priorities and respond to economic challenges. Carney's failure to present a clear fiscal plan has led to uncertainty, undermining public trust and confidence in his administration. Canadians are left wondering how their government plans to address skyrocketing inflation, rising living costs, and the overall economic downturn. Adding to the discontent is the appointment of former Vancouver Mayor Gregor Robertson as Canada's new housing minister. Robertson's tenure in Vancouver was marked by rising housing costs and homelessness, leading many to question his capability to address the national housing crisis. Critics argue that his past failures in managing Vancouver's housing market will likely be repeated on a larger scale, especially as housing prices continue to soar across the country. The growing homelessness crisis in urban areas has become a pressing issue, and many are skeptical that Robertson can provide effective solutions. The cumulative effect of these controversies has led to a significant public outcry. Many Canadians feel that the current government is more focused on political maneuvering than on addressing the serious challenges facing the nation. This sentiment is echoed by various stakeholders, including business leaders, community activists, and everyday citizens who are frustrated by the lack of decisive action. The recent scandals surrounding Carney and other Liberal leaders have left the public demanding accountability and a shift in priorities. In this politically charged environment, opposition parties are seizing the opportunity to critique the Liberal government's handling of these issues. Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party, has been particularly vocal in his opposition, arguing that Carney's actions exemplify a government out of touch with the realities faced by everyday Canadians. Poilievre's criticisms resonate strongly with voters who feel that the Liberal government has strayed from its commitments to address critical issues such as the economy, housing, and public services. Public frustration has manifested in various forms, including protests, social media campaigns, and calls for greater transparency from the government. Citizens are increasingly using online platforms to voice their concerns and demand more accountability from their leaders. This digital activism reflects a broader trend of engagement among Canadians who are unwilling to accept the status quo and are actively seeking change. As the Liberal Party faces the prospect of a fourth term, the pressure is mounting for Carney to demonstrate effective leadership and a commitment to the needs of Canadians. The upcoming G7 summit presents both a challenge and an opportunity for Carney. As he prepares to represent Canada on the global stage, He must also address the pressing domestic issues that threaten his leadership. The eyes of the nation will be on him, and how he navigates this balancing act could significantly impact public perception and support for his government. Failure to adequately address domestic concerns during this critical time could lead to further erosion of trust and confidence among Canadians. As the political discourse intensifies, the media's role in shaping public opinion cannot be overlooked. Outlets like CTV are amplifying the voices of critics and providing a platform for discussions around the government's shortcomings. The framing of these issues in the media influences how Canadians perceive their leaders and the effectiveness of their policies. This scrutiny is essential in a democracy, ensuring that those in power are held accountable for their actions and decisions. In the broader context, many Canadians feel that the current government is more focused on political maneuvering and personal interests than on addressing the nation's serious challenges. With issues like a struggling postal service, a weakened economy, and a growing housing crisis, Canadians are calling for leadership that prioritizes their needs over political ambitions and personal beliefs. The recent scandals surrounding Carney and other Liberal leaders have left many questioning the direction in which Canada is headed. As these issues unfold, Canadians are becoming increasingly vocal in their demands for accountability and change. In conclusion, as Canada navigates these turbulent political waters, the future of the Liberal Party and Mark Carney's leadership hangs in the balance. The combination of economic instability, controversial decisions, and public dissatisfaction presents a formidable challenge. With mounting pressure from opposition parties and an increasingly engaged electorate, Carney must address these concerns head-on to restore public trust and confidence in his leadership. The coming months will be critical for the Liberal government as they seek to redefine their priorities and prove their commitment to the Canadian people.